Did you guys know that obesity causes PCOS? Because I used to have PCOS when I was 320 pounds, but before that, I never had it.
When I was a kid, no one talked about PCOS. I recently learned about it when Penelope was morbidly obese and she was having crippling pain during her menstrual cycle. And it didn't matter what medication we gave her, what we tried to do to help her, either holistically or traditionally, allopathically, nothing seemed to work. And we went through extensive testing, and then they found out that she has something they called PCOS.
We noticed that 85.8% of you guys are not subscribed. So what are you doing? We give you guys free weight loss advice. And to the 14.2% that are subscribed, you guys are doing something right here. So thank you for all your support. We really appreciate it. But seriously, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below.
But what was so ironic, Penelope, was there was nothing they could do. They were like, oh, you might become infertile. And that was it. Like, oh, is there a diet? Is there a lifestyle? Is there medication? Like, no, we don't know how you got it, but you got it. And there's nothing you can do about it. It was like $8,000, extensive testing. It was really, really a big deal. How disappointing was that?
The pain I felt and like how I guess at the time I didn't correlate it with the obesity, but when I started losing the weight, all my symptoms were relieved and I was healed and I didn't need any drugs at all.
It was as if it just magically disappeared. It was a non-issue. Now, I know there are a lot of women out there who suffer from PCOS. You might even be suffering from migraines. You might be suffering from something that's hormone dysregulation. And we did some deep dives on what causes PCOS. And my goodness, we were not surprised.
It's like a new trend today. And everyone says, like every intro to every video now is like, I have PCOS and insulin resistance and now I'm taking Ozempic. And I'm like, huh?
Well, because they have convinced themselves that they cannot lose weight if they have PCOS. And I wonder what started first, the PCOS or the insulin resistance? I don't mean to be patronizing, but it's true. I am always obsessed with understanding the root of an issue. So for example, if Penelope has a headache, I'm not going to tell her to take Advil. I'm going to say, drink water. I'm going to say, do you need meditation? Do you need maybe to take a break from your devices? Maybe you should go outside. I'm never going to think, oh, let's give her a painkiller first. Now, an hour later, if she does like any of those things, then I might be like, okay, please take some Advil.
No, not even my willow bark.
And now I've gotten so sensitive, and I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm so sensitive that if I have an insulin spike, I get a headache. I notice it, and maybe it's just my age. I don't know, but I think it's really fast. I can get an insulin spike from getting stressed out, raising my voice, like drinking spinach soup can give me an insulin spike. So I'm super sensitive, which I'm not saying is a good thing. What does insulin resistance mean?
It means that when you eat foods that a normal body could absorb, your body is just freaking out about it.
Why do you get insulin resistance?
Because you eat tons of processed foods, or you don't eat enough fiber, you don't eat enough fruit, you don't eat enough vegetables.
What happens in your body when your body says, enough?
It freaks out and it holds on to things.
It's resistant.
Because it's trying
right?
to save itself.
Right. It resists. It's like, no more. Liver is not happy. And the colon, if you starve yourself, no, I'm not happy. I'm not releasing. Right? So insulin resistance is like your pancreas saying, I'm not happy. And if you can get insulin resistance from eating a high protein diet for a really long time, you can get insulin resistance from eating processed food and junk food and a lot of sugar. So there are two ends of the spectrum, right? It's not only people who eat junk food. I gave myself an insulin resistance-ish insulin sensitivity by overdoing it and not feeding myself enough. That's like diet culture. So that's it. So, and then another thing we researched, that metabolic syndrome also is what causes PCOS. What do you think came first, the metabolic syndrome or the insulin resistance?
The metabolic syndrome.
Probably, right? Your cells start getting dysfunctional because your mitochondria, those little powerhouses in your cells, I'm oversimplifying it, get tired because they're like, there's so much work. I'm overwhelmed. And then it shuts down. So I wonder, did the PCOS come than maybe after the metabolic syndrome and maybe after the insulin resistance. I'm just painting a picture here, folks, because I just think there's a huge disconnect between how we're living our lives and what's happening with our bodies and the health outcomes that we are choosing to generate. It is absolutely not your fault that you didn't know any better, but it is your responsibility to clean it up because there really is no solution for PCOS. And let me tell you this, Ozempic is definitely not the long-term solution.
Well, the solution is a healthy diet and exercise. That's the solution.
It's attending to revitalizing and rehabilitating your metabolism and your cellular functioning and your pancreas and your insulin response and whatnot. So another thing that we notice with PCOS is that chronic low-grade inflammation is also what's causing it. What causes chronic low-grade
Processed
inflammation?
foods, not enough exercise, not enough walking, sedentary lifestyles, dehydration, not enough sleep, which is another point.
You guys see this? Like, it's so logical.
It's logical, but no, like you said, people aren't taught these things.
So how do you know you're inflamed? Chronic pain. How do you know you're inflamed? Like your ring is tight? Well, it doesn't mean you're just gaining weight. Chronic inflammation, is like when you're kind of cranky or moody, have brain fog. If you're drinking alcohol, if you're eating sugar, you have inflammation. If you're eating processed food with tons of chemicals and junk in it, you have inflammation.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is gut microbiome biosis?
It's like kind of like when you have that dysbiosis, when you have like irritable bowel syndrome. You know, when you have like excessive bloating, flatulence, constipation or diarrhea, or you have some kind of like permeability issues, you know, there's usually a bacterial imbalance. What creates good bacteria in your gut?
Fiber, fruits, vegetables.
What creates harmful bacteria in your gut?
Processed foods, sugar, chemicals.
Wow, like this is so logical.
And number 5, I actually said already, which is not sleeping well. Circadian rhythm.
Yeah, this one is so great because actually all of them are so great because you can take steps to reverse your PCOS. It's not going to happen overnight. It didn't also occur overnight. Your PCOS took years to get created. So I just want to give you hope that it's possible, but you do have to be consistent. You do have to have correct information and you do have to follow through. And there's so many benefits to doing these things. Following through increases your confidence in yourself. And a lot of the women in our program are suffering from PCOS and do believe that they can reverse it and are taking steps every day through our accountability system and our unique methodology to do that. And it's pretty exciting to see all the results. One of our women, she's down like 6 pounds.
No, more than that. Like almost 15.
So exciting. And she's just like enjoying it. She's like, oh, I can't even believe I wasn't hungry. I can't even, it doesn't feel like a diet. Another woman said, you know, only person I have to blame if I don't follow through is me. And that's the truth. Yeah, so sleeping well, you could do tonight. You could build your day so that you sleep well. That's one of the things Penelope and I talk about a lot. Building your day for good sleep, which means waking up early, nourishing your body early enough, hydrating your body early enough, exercising. So like there's so many components to it that require good sleep.
And all of that means loving yourself, truly, by loving yourself into a better, healthier version of yourself, which is really hard for a lot of moms, a lot of women to put themselves first in that way. And I feel like when you love yourself in that way, you can serve others better.
For sure. And PCOS doesn't have to be your reality. And it certainly, in my opinion, is not an excuse for your inability to lose weight.
Right.
It does make losing weight a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
I'm going to completely agree with you. But that only means you have to work harder.
You can't get out of bed. It's rough.
And working harder doesn't mean deprivation. Working harder doesn't mean dieting. Working harder doesn't mean like you have to suffer through your existence. It means learning how to make foods that you love.
Think about it like extra character building.
Yeah, because when you take Ozempic, you're literally stepping over all of the gems and gifts that being on this lifestyle plan that we've created or whatever lifestyle plan you choose will provide for you. I mean, you've learned so much about yourself. You are a completely different person because you went through those difficult moments where you were at rock bottom and everything you were doing didn't work until we pivoted and then we got it to work again. Then we got it to work again because that's what everyone needs. Everyone needs partners to like figure it out along the way.
So if you want to join a women's group that's super private, super just me and mom, no robots, then you should join because the price is going up in the new year and we want to help women who are ready to start before the new year, who aren't like January 1st babes. Like, we want the ones who are ready now.
Yeah, and we help you to troubleshoot these holiday parties. We help you to like figure out what you're going to make that you can eat, because we're not about deprivation. But I do want to say PCOS can also be caused by environmental toxins.
And so if you want to join our Women's Accountability Group, the link is in the description, so you can click there, or you can email us if you want to learn more. If you're struggling with PCOS, or you've struggled with PCOS, or you're still on your journey, then I would love to hear a little bit about that journey. So comment down below your experiences and we can share about them, because my experience was pretty crazy. So I'd love to tune in with you guys and hear your story.
Your body can heal itself. And I want you to have hope that that's possible. Whether you have 300 pounds to lose or 10 pounds to lose, is possible.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all the time. We help women beat obesity with our Step It Up system without relying on drugs like Ozempic within 90 days. Click the link in the description to learn how to lose weight without drugs like Ozempic.